Hi guys, how are you all today? Welcome back to my channel. We all love shopping. If you're watching this video on this channel, you probably love shopping just as much as I do. However, we have all made certain mistakes, and one of the biggest mistakes that I feel like most of us, in fact everybody has made, is that we've all bought stuff, but when it's actually time to curate an outfit, we feel like we've got nothing to wear. You've probably at some point heard this from your parents कि इतनी shopping करते हो फिर भी कपड़े ही नहीं है. In this video, I'll tell you exactly why this happens and how you can avoid it once and for all. Point number one is that you have too much of the same thing. Most of us have a lot of blacks or whites in our cupboard because it's so easy to style these. It's so easy to just take out these in the morning when you're trying to get ready, put things together, all black, all white, or a mix of black and white, and just head out because it's a no-brainer, right? It's just the most easy combination you can ever go for. This is even true for neutrals. A lot of the times we get stuck with a certain set of colors, especially because we have this routine. If you're somebody who goes to office and you find certain colors just more wearable, you might just end up getting stuck with those colors. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you need to have like primary colors that you are going to be wearing very often in your cupboard, but it's wrong when there is too much of the same thing. Every single dress you buy, every single top or shirt you buy, or every single pair of jeans or bottom wear you buy cannot be black. It cannot be just white, which is why, by the way, I do have a video on how you can find your signature color. A lot of us don't know where to start. A lot of us have never been exposed to this knowledge, so I wanted to break down everything in easy steps for you. And by the way, all of us do have a signature color. If you haven't found out yours yet, I will leave a link to it right over here as well as down in the description box below, so make sure after this video you head over to that one. What can you do to solve this? You can of course try and experiment with more colors. Now I'm not saying if black is your comfort color, instantly go and buy something that's red, because that's of course not the way to go, and chances are you will never end up wearing that red piece that you just bought. Instead, try to play around with maybe a gray color, something that's close to the color that you find to be your comfort color. So you're not going too far from your comfort zone, but you're also slowly incorporating some color or some kind of different style in your wardrobe. If you're somebody who wears jeans and t-shirts all the time and you have a ton of jeans and t-shirts, just try to stay away from jeans for a bit. Try to experiment more with, say, plazos. If you're a teacher, I do understand that you are going to be having a lot of suits in your cupboard. However, try to incorporate more of, say, shararas. Experiment with anarkalis or with angrakhas or patiala salwars, any other kind of suit. Point number two is you do not know what you want and you're relying way too much on one source of inspiration. For a lot of us, our go-to platform for any kind of inspiration is Pinterest, and I for one love browsing through Pinterest. So it's very easy to think that whatever a certain model is wearing, you would also want to wear that. However, remember that Pinterest is just your friend. It is not your best friend. Scrolling a lot, or what we call doom scrolling, it has to leave you overwhelmed. It will definitely leave you confused as well. And a lot of the times you will see these models or these perfectly curated Instagram pictures or Pinterest pictures, and you'll feel like, oh my god, I want to wear what she's wearing, without realizing that her body type can be different, her personal aesthetic can be different. When we see something very visually pleasing online, we don't realize that we might have a different aesthetic. I actually realized this when we were redoing my rooms. If you haven't watched my room tours, I will leave it right here and in the description box below, so make sure you watch those as well. And my interior designer actually asked me to make a Pinterest board of all of the pictures that I find really nice and I am attracted towards. And when I was doing that, I realized I am attracted towards almost any and every picture I see online because they're so well curated. Even if it wasn't personally my color theme or my aesthetic, I was still liking those pictures. So it does leave you confused. If you scroll for a long time, it's natural to get confused. So I don't blame you, but all I'm trying to say is do not treat it as the only source of inspiration and blindly buy what, even for example, an influencer is telling you. If I show you suits, it does not necessarily mean you will go instantly and buy that suit. Keep in mind your body type, patterns or prints that you like, stuff that you feel you'll be confident enough to carry, and then make sure you get it. This of course brings me to point number three, which is you haven't figured out your personal style. We all have a personal aesthetic and we all have our own color schemes. A lot of us are drifted towards it naturally and we do end up realizing this is what I'm inclined towards. However, some of us do need to do that little bit of extra effort. I do have an entire video talking about how you can find your personal aesthetic, whether it's romantic, classic, minimal, bohemian, whatever it may be. You'll be able to understand exactly each of these and which one you resonate the most with. Again, keep in mind that it's easy to like almost everything when you see it online because it's so well curated, but take some time and maybe do a deeper dive into this and think, actually sit down and think, which one do I actually resonate with. You can watch the video. I talk you through this step by step, so it's very insightful. Again, the link is going to be here as well as down below. Next up is you shop for your ideal self. A lot of us think when we're going to be this weight, that's when I'm going to be wearing this. So we buy it in advance, but what if we are not able to achieve that weight? And I wish you all the best if you're trying to lose weight or if you're trying to gain weight and look a certain way. All the very best to you. However, when you hit that target weight, or when you are in that shape, or when you achieve whatever you want to achieve when it comes to your physical body or your goals, that's when you want to buy that. That's when you want to invest in that garment. Otherwise, you will just be buying for a person who doesn't really exist right now, at least physically. Why I'm specifying something like body shape or weight is because I've seen a lot of people fall into this trap of thinking we'll buy this when we hit this weight, like 5 kgs down, I'll be wearing this. I don't know if this is going to be in store or not at that time, so I'm going to pick this up right now. This is very different from thinking of something like, okay, when I'm going to achieve my promotion, that's when I'm going to be wearing this, so I'll buy it, but I'll wear it then. Or thinking that I'll buy this right now and I'll sort of gift it to myself like a present on my birthday, because then that variable of whether or not you will fit into it, it doesn't really exist. Even if for some reason you don't end up hitting the goal that you mentally had in mind, it's alright, because you can still wear that garment and at least it wouldn't go waste. When you do achieve your goals and actually become the ideal self that you want to become, maybe then buy all of this. Anything and everything you want to buy, but just not right now. Whatever shopping you do right now has to be of your particular size only. And if you are in the process of, say, a body transformation, I would recommend not shopping for a little bit and shopping once you have achieved your goal. This way you'll also be motivated more to achieve that particular goal. The next reason why you probably don't have anything to wear is because your closet is a mess. None of us like visual overload, yet whenever we open our closets early on in the morning, the first thing we see is clutter. Now, a lot of us have designated days of the week, and I talk about this very often. Keep a designated day to clean out all of your cupboards. I still have to clean out my jewelry cupboard, so this serves as a reminder to myself. But have a designated day to do this. If you feel like that's tricky and you don't want to spend one whole day doing this, it takes away from all of your other things, then of course, whenever you take out something, make sure when you're putting it back, you're putting it in place. You're not just taking off your things and just keeping them anywhere and everywhere. This might just be an excuse, but the nature of my work requires me to be very fast-paced with my outfits and with my jewelry, and I'm out going for events someday, which is why I don't often get the time to keep everything in its place and make sure everything's nice and organized. So once a month, I try to organize everything so that I am not having this visual overload of clutter first thing that I see. The reason most of us feel like shopping when we step into a clothing store is because everything is so nicely arranged and organized. When Zara has its sale season, I personally hate going to Zara. I would rather shop online than step foot into Zara because of how much clutter there is. I don't feel like shopping. I don't want to put myself through that stress. The idea is for you to feel like you're shopping your own cupboard. You can do this in so many ways. I like to do this by getting velvet hangers or wooden hangers and actually hanging all my clothes in the same kind of hanger. So when I see it, I feel like dressing up. I don't feel like running away from my cupboard. If you think about it, visual clutter creates confusion, not just in your cupboard, but in your everyday life as well. When your clothes are nicely organized, you will know what to mix and match. I don't know if this is true with you, but for me, if my room is a mess, I cannot think straight. If this is true for you as well, let me know in the comments, because I feel like it's just me. Point number 6 is that you haven't been discarding. Now, I know that clothes come at a cost, and sometimes it's a very heavy cost that we have to pay for our clothes, so we don't want to part ways with them. However, it is important if that style is not something you resonate with anymore, if that color is something that you've overworn, if the quality of that garment has worn out, it's just not something that you should keep, because it's just going to again create so much of confusion. You're going to see it every single day, but you'll feel like, okay, where am I going to wear this? I think the best way to go about this is to donate, because it's something that you're doing for a good cause. I get really emotional about my things, and so for each of my tops, I feel like, oh my god, I wore this when I went here, and mom bought this for me, or my nanny bought this for me. So I get really emotional, and it's just hopeless. It's bad. It's very difficult for me to part ways with my things. However, oh my god, I got very deep into this. However, I think donation is the best thing, because it's something that gives me the most happiness. Do keep in mind, if you're planning on donating, not everything can be donated. A lot of NGOs have their own policies as to what you can and cannot donate. Just because we're up close and personal here, as an example, if there's something that is slightly revealing or has a lot of skin showing, it might not be the most appropriate to give to an NGO. So just be mindful of these small smaller things. And if you feel like it's not appropriate for there and you can't really do anything with it, there are a lot of recycling stalls and stores, so you can actually look this up and see which is the nearest recycling unit to you. And our final reason as to why you have nothing nice to wear is that you have been shopping way too much. Now, I do get that retail therapy is one thing and it's an actual thing, and I for one definitely believe in it. However, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but when you overdo this, when you buy way too much, you end up creating a lot of clutter for yourself. And yet again, when our wardrobe and our cupboard and our rooms are cluttered, we cannot think straight. We cannot pair our outfits well. Try to think of it this way. Personal style is developed by what you already have in your cupboard, not by going out and spending more. Yes, of course, it feels nice to go out and buy something new for yourself. I do understand that it's kind of tempting to buy everything that you see another person wear, and just retail therapy in general is very addictive. However, try to limit that. Set a budget for yourself. I know this doesn't directly relate to not being able to put together outfits, but think about this. If your wardrobe is cluttered, how will you have the mental bandwidth to put together a good outfit? Especially in our everyday life, when we don't have enough time to think about what we're going to wear, how we're going to style it, what jewelry we're going to wear with it. We see the thing that's kept in front, we instantly take it out, we wear it without a second thought. And that is why sometimes when we actually want to put an effort into our outfits, we feel like, oh my god, I have nothing nice to wear. Now, this was just the beginning. If you'd like to fine-tune your wardrobe and actually learn how to style for different occasions, what materials to use, what not to use, how you can choose certain fabrics, what looks good in a certain circle, what doesn't look good in a certain environment, what will make you feel more confident, your personal color psychology. If you'd like to understand all of this and a lot more, I do have an online video course for you called the Glow Up Academy, where you get 1.5 hours of video footage, 2 live sessions with me, and a lot of cheat sheets, resources, and guides from me from time to time. I would absolutely love for you to join and be a part of the community. The link to it is right down below in the description box, and you can use the code GETSETGLOW while checking out to get a 30% off. Those are some of the reasons that I myself resonate with as well, because I have made these same mistakes in the past, and I do understand if you're making these right now, or if at some point you have made these mistakes in the past and right now your cupboard feels like a total mess. I really want to help you out with this. I want to help you develop your personal style and dress to be the finest version of yourself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Leave your comments down below letting me know what other videos you'd like to watch, and make sure you subscribe to the channel because I do make a lot of such videos helping you level up and elevate your presence. I'm going to see you guys next time. Till then, bye bye.